Here's something you should think about. When you tell somebody with mental health issues to just get over it or to just heal, when a person is suffering from mental health issues like PTSD, CPTSD, that means they went through some type of trauma that scarred them mentally. It could have scarred them physically too, but mentally they're never the same again, right? This is something you can think about. Imagine a young child being raped. Not imagine it, but if a young person is raped, like you go from being a virgin to somebody taking that from you, then that person will never be the same. That person will never get that virginity back, right? That person will never get that back. And even when they move forward, they grow older, that's something that can never be replaced. Now imagine someone goes off to war and they lose a limb, or even don't go off to war. They lose a limb from diabetes or something, right? You can see that physically they aren't the same anymore. Sorry, something in my eye. So you can see that physically they aren't the same anymore. When you see a person who has a above the knee amputation, you don't ask them to run faster. You don't ask them to move any quicker. You can see that they are scarred and you accept that, and you might even help them, right? You don't ask them to just grow another limb. You don't ask them to get over it and just heal from it, because no matter what, for the rest of their lives, they'll never fully be the same. They can get an artificial limb that can kind of help them walk again or run again, but they'll never physically be who they were before. So that's something to think about when you think about people who have traumas, who have PTSD, and you don't understand it because you can't see it. You can't see them physically missing a piece. You can't see them physically bleeding. All you see is actions, reactions, pain, tears, that type of stuff. And I just want you to think about that next time, because you don't get to see everybody's story. You don't get to see what every person been through, but you see who they are in the moment. And some people do have more healing to do. However, you can only heal to some extent. There are some things that just can't be replaced. And some people's limb that's missing is here. Some people's missing piece is mostly up here. They have nightmares, they have flashbacks, they go through constant state of trauma, being hypervigilant, your heart just racing for no reason at all. That's not healthy in itself. So if there's a reason to heal, it's for a person to do it themselves for the sake of being physically healthy enough to sustain a long life here. But trust me, what you see from a person dealing with PTSD is just residual. It's the part that they haven't fixed yet, or couldn't work on, or you know what I mean? It's the part that they're still working on. And it's just a little bit of leftovers. It's kind of like speaking. Like, you don't speak everything that comes to your mind. Your mind is a filter. And your mind filters, luckily, most of the things before words come out of your mouth, right? So we all have that same quality of being able to filter through our thoughts and things like that. But when you've been traumatized, when you've been trained, when you've been tortured and things like that, your brain has been taught to think a different way. Your brain has been taught to think a total different way, and therefore your actions follow that. Like your thoughts create your actions. So maybe next time we should be a little bit more generous with the compassion and with the understanding of some of the things that we don't understand, and we're not going to get it all. But understand that a lot of things you understand and appreciate more once it happens to you, but we don't want to learn everything the hard way. You don't want it to happen to you for you to get it. Okay? So I just want to say, keep going to the people who do suffer with PTSD and CPTSD, because I know a lot of people don't understand and won't get it, and that's stressful in itself, just having to constantly explain yourself or try to get people to understand you or love you, even though you might be fucked up in their eyes. I just want to say, keep going. Keep going, and I'm rooting for you. Okay. okay?